So most people's lives are average by definition. And this would not be a problem, of course, if the average life of a person in this world was actually interesting, but it's not. I think we both know that. Living in a place you don't really like, working a job you definitely don't like, and not being able to enjoy what the world has to offer because you need to keep an eye on your bank account all the time, or you're shackled to a given place because of your job, whether you want it or not. And having someone that is your boss being able to tell you what to do at any given point of the day. Like, isn't that just sad that most people live this reality? And fixing these three things was really the key that allowed me to get to the point in my life where I was no longer simply going through the motions, but actually living, not just on the weekends, but every single day of my life. I'm so lucky to have been born with a bit of a rebel inside of my mind, because it is honestly the only reason I had the courage to reject this average life and go and imagine and then actually pursue the life that I actually wanted, rather than what everyone else around me told me. And today I live in multiple countries every year. I wake up every day literally excited to tackle the day and the work in front of me, and no one can tell me what to do, when to do it, or where to do it. I wish I could give the gift of this life to more people, which is why this channel exists. And my hope is that with this very short video, I can plant this rebel into your head to make you realize that you don't have to be an average person. In fact, just with a couple of simple steps that you can do that most people don't even consider, you can create yourself an amazing lifestyle and quit the average life that most people just settle into. That works even if you're starting with $0 today. So if you want to escape the average reality of most people, you need to be ready for a journey of transformation in your life. Because achieving a life better than the average person necessarily requires you to become better than the average person in some kind of way. You see, the world works based on exchange. If you want money, you need to give something in return for it. If you want love, you need to be willing to give love back. If you want freedom, you need to be able to offer something that can earn you that freedom in your life. And if you are how I used to be, that might sound scary. How can I have something to offer to the world that can earn me that above average life? But have you thought about how few people actually even try to make their lives something better than the average? Not that many. So literally, even if you just give this your best shot, that you actually even try, that alone will put you above 90% of the people literally automatically. It's never been easier to stand out in the world because no one else literally even tries. That one simple decision will be the most powerful thing you do in your life, because it changes how you see yourself, and it makes you treat yourself as the kind of person who is able to do whatever you want to put your mind to. And after you do that, let's get practical. If you want to quit the average life, you need an escape route. And luckily for you, in the modern world, you have more escape routes than ever before. And if you have $0 to your name, these escape routes come in the form of skills that you can learn and then utilize to earn income that is not attached to a particular place or a particular time or a particular employer. So now, before I tell you how to make the leap from where you are now to live this kind of life, the next logical question you need to ask yourself is, what are these skills that you can learn to maximize your chances of being able to detach yourself from your calendar, from time, and from a particular boss? So write this list down and do your own research on them to figure out exactly what you might enjoy the most. First, we have content creation, which is exactly what I'm doing right now, but it doesn't mean having to become a YouTuber. You could try Twitter, TikTok. You could become a freelancer who creates content for brands. There are many different ways to leverage the internet and the power of just having a camera with you, or even just your keyboard, to create content and earn money that way. Next, we have coding. This is something that I talk about a lot on my main channel, which is a coding channel where I teach people to code. But coding and other technology related skills like data analysis, cybersecurity are some of the best skills in the world to work remotely, to build your own businesses or side projects that can make you money, or become a freelancer with multiple clients paying you to use your skill of technology, because it is so in demand in today's world. Next, we have copywriting. This is basically like writing emails or like just writing sales texts to companies, to content creators like myself. And this is a very lucrative market, and it doesn't require you to be in a single place. And then we have many other skills like sales. Let's say you enjoy speaking to people and really getting to understand them and understand what their needs are. You can learn the skill of sales, and a lot of companies or creative businesses like myself will pay you to sell their services to people. And often this happens in the form on Zoom calls or something like that. So it doesn't require you to be in one place, and you can do this as a freelancer, have many different clients, etc., giving you all the other freedoms as well. So your second step, literally just pick one of these skills and absolutely master it. And then after that, use that skill to sell your services of having this high income skill to gain freedom from location and from calendar, and start earning some money every single month. If you want to learn a skill in technology and launch a high income career, using it to kickstart your journey of quitting your average life today, I recommend you check out Course Careers, who I've partnered up with. They offer tons of courses in any skill you might want to learn related to technology, with actual job placement at the end. And it's probably the best and fastest way to get started. But the one thing this step won't give you is the freedom from boss. So while you might be able to become a freelancer and have many different clients, you're still sort of attached to these big clients or these big employers that are bringing in most of your income, and therefore they have power over you. And to really live a life of freedom, you need to become free from this as well. So that is why the next step is to start a side hustle using the same skill that you just learned. The most practical way to do this is that after you gain experience and expertise with your chosen career or skill, you start creating content around it, and to help others learn that skill as well, and sharing insights about that career and the journey that you have already gone through. Because now that you have this skill, you have something valuable to offer to the world, not just in the form of applying that skill to work for someone else, but actually teach others to do the same that you have done. Because there are a lot of people who are going to be just happy about learning the skill and then getting a job with it or something like that. This is exactly what I did with my main YouTube channel, Internet Coder. I might not want to work for an employer as a programmer anymore, but the people who watch the channel are happy about that. So I'm happy to help them do that, because that gets them towards their goals and allows me to live the life that I want as a content creator, while then also applying that skill on the next thing to create a startup or a side project or something like that, like a software that you can code, that if it solves a real problem for someone, can start bringing you cash flow every single month almost passively, which can then detach you entirely from everything and make you completely free. Whichever side hustle path you choose, using your core skill, you will now have to go through a period of working 9 to 5 on your remote job or a freelance project, and 5 to 9 as well as on weekends on your business. This will be the hardest part of the process, because you will be working a ton, because you cannot expect your side hustle to just take off instantly. It's going to take a lot of time. And so hopefully you have chosen an industry and a skill that you actually enjoy, because it will be tough otherwise, but it will be worth it regardless at the end, because eventually, as your side hustle income reliably exceeds your job income, you can fully quit, and now you are completely free. But you aren't done yet, because most people go full time with their business, don't take advantage of all the lifestyle benefits that being self-employed gives you, and they also waste half their income when they don't have to. What I'm talking about is the last piece of the puzzle, which for me was super important. Here's how moving abroad dramatically improves your life in ways that most people don't even consider. Number one, you get to experience a new culture, new customs, new kind of living. Number two, you get to probably pay less in cost of living and save massively on taxes, which if you're broke now might not seem like a big deal, but once your business does take off and you start making 10, 20, 30, 50k a month, sending half of that to some government who you probably don't support anyway is really gonna start to sting. And what people again don't consider is that in many countries around the world, you can have a similar or better standard of living for less money. Number three, you can enjoy a better climate. And what you consider good climate might vary, by the way. For me, moving from London to spending half the year in Dubai and half the year traveling around the world was the absolute optimal decision for me, because I love warm climate. I will love being in a place where I can just be outside. This was my optimal life, my optimal climate. And because I had achieved this life of freedom, I was able to choose the optimal place and the optimal climate for me at any given point of the year. And you don't even just have to choose one place. If you like the summers in Paris, but you don't like the winters in Paris, well, guess what? You can just live in Paris in the summer and be somewhere else, like Southeast Asia in the winter, if you want to. And this is exactly what most of the sort of digital nomad entrepreneurs I know do, and what I do as well. And it's a pretty amazing lifestyle. And that is the life I talk about on this channel. So if you watch this far, it's highly likely that the kind of life where you can have this freedom from place, from calendar, and from having a boss really resonates with you. And I've gone through this transformation myself following these exact steps. I myself used the skill of coding to catapult myself from the corporate life to this freedom lifestyle. And on this channel, I want to help you do the same. I want to talk about the kind of life, the different locations I am, and most importantly, how you can get there as well. For example, in this video, I discuss how I managed to go from $50,000 in debt to over $150K in savings in my bank account in just 1 year as a completely normal person. So if that is something that you would like to do as well, you're gonna watch that video next.